First up, viewers, the Lok Sabha result for Tamil Nadu could not have been better for the India bloc. The United Alliance swept the elections, winning all 39 seats, leaving the AIADMK and the BJP empty-handed, really. While the BJP is considered a marginal player in Tamil Nadu state politics, the principal opposition and the Dravidian rival AIADMK's abysmal performances has triggered shockwaves among the cadre and its supporters. The situation is so dire, viewers, that even their ousted members, OPS and Sasikala, are now appealing for rival factions to unite and sacrifice anything for the revival of the party. The official AIADMK, however, has said that the door which is shut will stay shut. There is no room for traitors, they say. The AIADMK, meanwhile, which snapped ties with the BJP earlier over BJP state chief's remarks, is clearly a party struggling now to recover lost ground. Experts say that the internal strife in the party and even the split with the BJP actually ended up giving a walkover to the DMK. A closer look, viewers, at the combined vote share of the AIADMK and the BJP suggests that the alliance could have won at least a few seats if they had contested together. To put things into perspective here, let's take a look at Coimbatore, where the combined AIADMK and the BJP votes would have easily resulted in the NDA winning, and there have been a singular candidate, of course. Now, same is the case on some other high-profile seats. Sivaganga, this was won by Karthi Chidambaram. It's not merely a case of arithmetic on a few seats. A look at the overall vote shares also shows that an undivided NDA could have really garnered nearly 40% of the vote share. But of course, things don't really work that way. This cumulative support could have resulted in the AIADMK and the BJP coalition presenting a formidable challenge to the dominant DMK alliance and potentially even altering not just the scenario in the state, but the final implications of the Lok Sabha poll results too. So today, while we of course discuss all of these aspects, we'll be joined in by multiple guests who will try and give us their perspective of what went wrong for the AIADMK, what went right for the DMK, and more importantly, what's the way forward for the BJP and the AIADMK here. YG Madhuvanthii from the BJP is with us. Kovai Satyan from the AIADMK joins us today as well. Hareesh Ibrahim, political analyst, with us today. Also, we have CS Kotteswaran. He's a senior journalist joining us today. Thanking all our guests. But more importantly, at first, I'll have to ask here, Mr. Kovai Satyan. Mr. Satyan, this is a very interesting election. We've seen the results that have emerged. We've spoken multiple times before as well. Do you now feel that, look at the hindsight, you could have done things a little differently, especially in the run-up to these elections? Well, I believe there's a technical issue with Mr. Satyan. We'll try and get him on air as soon as possible. And before that, let me in fact go to Mr. Hareesh Ibrahim. Mr. Ibrahim, when we look at how the DMK did perform, it is a resounding win, for the India alliance that the DMK and the Congress combined. It looks like everything for your alliance, for the DMK alliance there, which has been there for decades now, served its purpose not once but twice, in 2019 and now in 2020.
Yeah, of course. The DMK alliance was an intact with a principle, has a founding ideology, which is for the social justice movement and providing an equality in every aspects to the people of Tamil Nadu, and it has delivered the results. But the ADMK and the NDA, which wanted their split to happen pre-poll, with a clear indication stating that the consolidated SC, ST and the Dalit votes, the OBC votes and the minority votes shouldn't come inside their coalition, because if NDA has been a part of ADMK, which was there in 2019, they would be claiming a 0 seat. But at this time, they have clearly made sure that both of them stand separately. But what is the thing which has gone out of control here is, the ADMK, which has got almost 37% of vote share in Tamil Nadu, has given away its now it has been almost reduced to 24%, 27%, and it almost gave away their 10% of vote share to the BJP and its coalition partner contesting along with the NDA plus. NDA plus, which has rose up from 3% to 11%. So the entire 8% to 10% vote share, which has been gone out from the ADMK kitty to that, NDA plus. This is what worrying the real faction which has been separated by the OPS before 2021 election, which is Sasikala and Mr. OPS. And they both came from the same background, same community. They know how hard to get their community votes, which has been the ultimate in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, which is going to a single largest party, that is DMK. So they want to make sure to give away that scenario, put on halt, and make sure the entire united opposition of ADMK should happen. But as you know, now Mr. OPS and Sasikala is being called off traitor by EPS. But the real traitor in Tamil Nadu assembly is, in Tamil Nadu constituency, Tamil Nadu general party culture is Mr. EPS, who was being the traitor in every form, in every aspect. And the people of ADMK cadres know what he did to Sasikala. Even when she was going to jail, she handed over the baton to Mr. EPS. And within 1 month, he made sure she was being expelled from the party, OPS being expelled from the party, and he did the best thing any politician could ever dream of. And he is calling traitor now Mr. OPS and Mr. Sasikala. So this factual equations, as of now, the ADMK vote share has been entirely swept away by the BJP, which always the BJP does in any regional party. So we want to wait and watch what is going to happen in the long run.
But how do you say that?
Party, whether they
okay, but how do you really say that, Hareesh Ibrahim? When you look at the AIADMK's vote share, in 2019 or now, that hasn't drastically changed. If anything, that the BJP has eaten into the vote share of a little bit of the DMK and the other regional parties probably, but it doesn't look like it's from the AIADMK vote share that the BJP is gaining.
Not at all. When Madam Jayalalitha was there for such a long reign in her political career, she maintained to carry forward a 30% of vote share, a consolidated 31% of vote share for the ADMK without any trouble. And now it has been dented for almost 6 to 7%, where the NTK, the Nam Tamilar Katchi, and the BJP, who came into the election scenario after 2010 in a much more vibrant way, they got the share which has been taken away from the ADMK kitty and not from the DMK kitty. DMK has been rose up from 37 to 38, 39. Now it has been almost standing from 54%. They gained it for last time or during the election, general election of 2019. And now it has been reduced to almost 48.9%, which is almost 49% and a 3% of different vote share. And this has to be clarified with several metrics.
We're not here talking about the AIADMK of the Jayalalitha era. Mr. Ibrahim, that's a thing of the past. We know that the AIADMK right now cannot really dream about the kind of political prowess and the era that they lived in during the time of J. Jayalalitha. I'm talking about 2019 in comparison to 2024. 19.39% is the vote share of the AIADMK. This is in 2019. And I'm giving you exact data, and right now you're looking at 20.46. So if anything, they have gained. And the BJP here doesn't seem to be gaining from the NDA here.
That is ADMK as a single largest party, and now ADMK has been contesting with PMKs and so on. So you have to differentiate the calculations by splitting away whether the BMK now NDA vote share, coming to NDA vote share out of 11%. And the BJP is not gaining any momentum in Tamil Nadu, as they claim, because their 3%, 2 to 3% vote share is still with them. The BJP single party, if you concern, it is a 2 to 3% is with them. But the 8 to 9% is for the PMK, Patali Makkal Katchi, which is headed by Mr. Dr. Ramadas, and then the TTV Dinagaran, where he consolidates the Devar community vote, which he swept away from the ADMK party. And the TTV Dinagaran's party of AIADMK, this is Amma Makkal Munnetra Kalagam, which is a faction of ADMK. And he has a consolidated vote bank of Devar community, which is a predominant community in down south. So the consolidation of the vote, making sure you to project NDA as being as a 11% vote share, that is false. That is false. When it comes to whether the BJP has been growing in Tamil Nadu, no, not at all.
The BJP's vote share is 11%. The NDA's is slightly even more.
No, that is what you don't have to differentiate that. That is the reason the call for Sasikala and Panneerselvam to come ahead with the ADMK coalition, because they don't want the 8% to 11%, 8% to 9% votes of DTV Dinakaran's party, which is a predominant Devar community party, which is now they can claim it is a secular party. No, not at all. Their faction has been considered as a faction to divide the Devar community vote from the down south, which is their predominant vote bank. So now it has been moved towards the NDA alliance,
Harish
which is
Ibrahim,
what it is a concept.
you know, NDA has got 18%, the BJP has got 11%, so there is a considerable rise for the BJP there. Of course, many factors do come into the picture, but you cannot rule that out completely. I'll bring in Madhuvanthii as well here, but you know, this marginal rise for you know, the BJP, which spoke about you know, somewhere around 25 to 30%. That's what you said that the result would be in terms of vote share. You said multiple seats would be won. It will be in double digits. Let's not go back into what didn't happen. What is a possibility now, considering the fact that you realize, you know, with the AIADMK, the strength of the NDA was much better? Do you feel it's time to reconcile, or do you feel that the way forward for the BJP is to continue, you know, being solo and fight it out?
Good evening, Deepak, and good evening to my fellow panelists also here. Firstly, I think our state president, Shri K. Annamalai, has made it very, very clear that we wholeheartedly accept with folded hands the verdict of the people of Tamil Nadu as far as the 2024 general elections are concerned. Having said that, it is very wrong to say that the BJP and other allies got together was 11%, because it is very clear that the BJP singularly has raised its vote share to 11% right now, approximately. And the NDA, because of that, has gone up to about 18.5% approximately. Now, having said that, you yourself know, and my learned friend here has also said that the DMK's vote share has come down. Whether it has come down by 1% or come down by 7%, the vote share has come down. So, like you correctly said, the BJP did not eat into the vote share of the ADMK, but definitely the DMK's vote share coming down is a significant change as far as elections are concerned in Tamil Nadu. We as a party have to intrinsically look as to what went wrong where and how to correct it. This is something our state president has openly admitted, and we are looking into that in a very mature fashion. This is a democracy. People win, people lose. You have to learn to accept it with dignity and see how to move on. And that is exactly what we are going to do as a party, because 2026 is not very far away. And with regards who's going to take up what alliances, those are things that I don't decide. Those are things that are above my perspective, and I cannot take a call and I cannot commit on behalf of anybody. That is something that the heads in the party will take a call on at the right moment and the right time. Having said that, it is very unfortunate to see a party like ADMK lose its deposit in almost 7 areas, 7 constituencies, and come third in many of the constituencies. And to see that the name of somebody as charismatic and as big as Madam Jayalalitha go down the drain like this is very unfortunate. I am not belittling, I am not mocking, I am not breaking, I am not shaving the head of a goat here and trying to spill the blood everywhere in the middle of the road and scream names. That is not what the BJP does. But having said that, I am very, very sad to say that the ADMK as a party is having to go through this, and the clarion calls have to be made, and people who fell at feet have now suddenly said they are traitors. It's one big mess. And that's something they have to sort internally. It is not for the BJP to sit and sort out the problems of the ADMK. We have to see where we went wrong. We have to see what were the calculations that went wrong, and we are trying to correct it intrinsically and grow as a party from here onwards.
BJP needs to introspect is what Madhuvanthii says. I'm also joined in by Mr. Kishore K. Swamy as well. Mr. Kishore K. Swamy, talking about the AIADMK, now the BJP is saying, well, you lost your deposits in 7 places. Came third in multiple constituencies. The legacy of Jayalalitha today is being put on the ground by the current, dispensation at the AIADMK.
See, one thing that has to be understood is that as far as AIADMK is concerned, yes, there is a lot of pondering has to be done. A lot of introspection has to happen as to why the party fared poorly in some of the constituencies. But having said that, we'll also have to understand that this is a national election, and you do have when there is not there is no prime minister candidate. And when you are facing the election where there are two powerful alliances, one has a powerful prime minister candidate and the other has a powerful alliance arithmetic. You can expect this to happen. But having said that, again, BJP is not in
But
a
this was
position to
not
come
what
and
the
tell
AIADMK said. Several
ADMK.
questions were being asked whether they're going to allow for the BJP to fill in the shoes of the AIADMK, become the main opposition, the primary opposition against DMK in Tamil Nadu. And that's what it looks like it's happening. And the AIADMK now, after the elections, after the drubbing, to really hide under the defense of saying, well, there was no prime ministerial face, this was a national election. If the AIADMK was not pretty serious, they should have just stayed out of it and focused on the upcoming assembly elections, allowed just the BJP to contest it out.
No. Where is the question of ADMK allowing BJP or BJP, coming out and allowing ADMK? We are very clear that we will consider that. We wanted the people to consider that the voice of ADMK will be there for them in the parliament. We've been seeing the 10 years of BJP government where the voice of the people could not be heard.
I asked you that question because you gave a reasoning that there was no prime ministerial face, it was a national election, and that's why the performance of the AIADMK was this bad. So you cannot hide behind that defense is all that I'm saying.
No. See, the question of hiding does not arise at all. One has to face the numbers. You can't fight the numbers. The numbers are staring at you. So where we have performed bad, yes, we have performed badly. And there is scope for improvement. Yes, there is scope for improvement. But that does not mean that one can just right away AIADMK, because there are constituencies where they have performed well as well. Good to a large extent, good as well. So what we are trying to say here is BJP as a party, they were claiming the state president of BJP was claiming
he is going to get 25%, given an opening 30%. For the BJP now to confidently say, well, if there is a strong opposition which is, taking on the government over multiple issues, not just now, after these elections, even before the elections, in the run-up to the Lok Sabha elections, the amount of issues that Mr. Annamalai took up from the BJP to what Mr. Palaniswamy took up, do you feel that it was a more aggressive opposition and that's where they've seen an increase in their vote share? Somewhere they are being seen as probably the main primary opposition against the DMK now. Do you see that the AIADMK has allowed this to happen?
No, sir. I think the problem with the national media is that you go by what you see on the media and the social media, not what is going on the ground. I am saying that Annamalai has been posturing that he has been taking on the DMK, but whereas he has done nothing constructively to take on the DMK.
This is not the problem with any media here. The question was asked to you whether you're allowing that space. I'm asking you based on issues that were taken up by him. About the amount of issues that were really taken up by EPS.
No, sir. You tell me. You tell me.
Has Mr. EPS been a strong enough leader for the AIADMK to rely on, not just now, even in the upcoming elections? Do you feel that this is time for introspection for the AIADMK? And now, letters being written by Sasikala, where OPS really comes in, when you have all of these entities really now raising their voice, does it again open up a Pandora's box for the AIADMK to really worry about?
Not at all. I will answer you one by one. See, you are talking about Annamalai raising issues. You to show me one credible issue that Annamalai raised against the DMK. Even, in fact, he went to the media and said that the CBI is now caught off all the, caught off the issue, and the complaint has been filed at the CBI. It is almost a year. Nothing has moved. So not one single issue is taken up against the DMK which is of any credibility. Now, having said that, you are talking about Mrs. Sasikala or Panneerselvam. These are non-entities when it comes to the AIADMK. They don't fare anywhere in the AIADMK today. So where is the question of they coming out and calling for unity of the cadres? These people have played havoc with the AIADMK, and that is the reason why they've been ousted from the AIADMK. Be it Mr. Panneerselvam, be it Mrs. Sasikala, they will have to now come out and say that why were they locking horns with each other?
Is Mr. Palaniswamy strong enough now to lead AIADMK to a position anywhere close to what it was during the Jayalalitha era is the question, Mr. Kishore?
I agree that Selvi Jayalalitha was a tall leader and a mass leader as well. So it will, to equate her with Mr. Palaniswamy is a long shot. But what I'm trying to say here is Palaniswamy Mr. Palaniswamy has consolidated the party, and the party is now under a single leadership. They have faced the election, and there is no rumbling within the party as is being claimed. The only people who are saying that there is a rumbling within the party are those who have been ousted from the party months ago. They went to the court and they couldn't get a ruling in their favor. They couldn't get a ruling in the election commission. They even came out and threatened that they have the friendly relationship with BJP, and therefore the symbol will be blocked, so on and so forth. They could not achieve it. So having done all this, now coming and asking whether Mr. Palaniswamy will be able to consolidate AIADMK, he is already consolidated. Yes, there is a challenge when it comes to the assembly elections, and we will take up that challenge, and they will definitely perform. No two questions about it. And if you are going to come out and say that can BJP challenge it, well, with the face of Modi, they could perform whatever they performed. But I doubt if they could pull off the same performance in the assembly election, because Annamalai is all talk, no action, nothing on the ground. You see more of him in the media and the social media, nowhere else.
Okay. Mr. CS Kotteswaran has been listening to all the political opinions, senior journalist with us today to try and decipher what exactly is the way forward for the AIADMK here. Mr. Kotteswaran, you heard what Mr. Kishore said. We've heard the perspective from the DMK and also the BJP. What's the way forward really for this party, which of course right now is really struggling to find its ground?
Good evening. Good evening to my fellow colleagues, panelists there. See, the biggest issue with the AIADMK is its dripping vote share. Not the ego problem between what is happening between OPS and EPS, or what is happening between Edappadi Palaniswamy and Annamalai. That's not the real issue. That is the issue as far as the AIADMK leaders or the alliance leaders is concerned. But whereas when it comes to the public connect, when it comes to the voters or the public or the party cadres, they are worried about the dipping percentage of AIADMK vote share, which was once around 31 to 36% when Madam Jayalalitha was there. From there, it has gone down to about some, say, 15% or maybe sometimes even 18% in certain areas. As on date, right now, there is no traditional stronghold for the AIADMK. It is 8, and this is the 9th elections that the AIADMK under the leadership of Edappadi Palaniswamy has lost almost most of the seats. Their progress when it comes to electoral politics has been pathetic. Okay, having said that, is it only EPS is failing when it comes to the electoral battle? No. TTV Dinagaran has been facing a drubbing. TTV Dinagaran has not got its vote. To say that he is having 5% vote bank, 6% vote bank, that is an all past. That was when he was fighting against Mr. Modi, when he was campaigning against the center or the BJP, saying that Modi is doing nothing to Tamil Nadu. Yes, he won the by-election. Since then, his political graph has been downstream. Then coming back to OPS. See, he is a 3-time chief minister from Tamil Nadu. He contested in an independent symbol only to lose by a margin of more than 2 lakh votes. So anybody who has associated themselves with the BJP has been facing a severe drubbing in the elections. And correct me, the fellow panelists, when Madam Jayalalitha was there, she took a very strong opposition towards the BJP. And after her demise, none of the AIADMK leaders started speaking or even raising about the TN issues with the center, or they never uttered a very strong word against Prime Minister Modi. When it comes to the vote share, anti-Modi wave is very, very strong in Tamil Nadu. This is not randomly saying some numbers. You could see this from the facts. 2014 elections, 2019 elections and 2024 elections. There is a strong anti-Modi wave even now in Tamil Nadu, which is evident there. But none of these AIADMK leaders want to speak about that. All they do is they talk about the DMK. And this elections is not about deciding who the DMK chief or who the chief minister is going to be. It is about the prime minister. So at this juncture, the AIADMK camps, none of the campaigns spoke about Prime Minister Modi. All they had to campaign was against Annamalai, and that to some meager points. So what the voter really sees is the anti-DMK votes is about the AIADMK. That is the AIADMK's oxygen. So anti-DMK votes is now being shared by BJP, Nam Tamilar Katchi, which is growing among the younger population, though despite not given a particular symbol which they asked, they got the symbol at the last moment. Still, they managed to increase their vote share by about 1.2%. 8% is being now taken by Naam Tamil Katchi. And again, coming to the BJP or the NDA, it is 18%. And I have doubts on that 18% because Patali Makkal Katchi over the decades had proved to be a party which consistently has a vote share of 6 to 7% in Tamil Nadu. Now, by 18, if you are taking away that 6 or 7, so it is again 11. So do I say, can we understand that O Panneerselvam's vote, it has to be added to NDA, or TTV Dinagaran's vote bank has to be added to NDA? Then you have other prominent leaders in Tamil Nadu like AC Shanmugam, who actually gets around 4 to 5 lakh votes whenever there is any parliamentary elections. He's been a very strong contender. Then there is some Parivendra Pachamuthu, who has contested from Perambalur. Last elections on a DMK ticket, he won by a margin of more than 4 lakhs. This elections, he's failed to secure deposit. For the simple reason the local people say, because of the allying with the BJP. The problem here for the AIADMK is its ally. So they don't understand that there is a strong anti-Modi wave, but they are fighting between themselves and settling scores. At the same time, Annamalai made a very drastic problem for the NDA. If AIADMK and BJP could have been stayed, going by the straight arithmetic, at least 3 to 4 cabinet ministers would have been assured. Think about Tamilisai Soundararajan. She's a governor. She's contested, she lost. A former 3-time chief minister, O Panneerselvam, he contested, lost. AMMK founder, TTV Dinagaran, he contested and he lost. So the BJP NDA candidate, they gave a star-studded candidate list. One of the best candidate list for Tamil Nadu came from the NDA or the BJP. But when it comes to performance, they drew a bleak zero. And this is not the first time. Previous elections, they recorded a single-digit win. That is only one seat they won is Theni. Before that, they got 2 seats. So their performance in Tamil Nadu has not been encouraging. These caste dimensions, Devar versus Counter, all these things actually work at the micro level for assembly or ward elections. But when it comes to the parliament elections, these numbers do not gain. They have to understand
also, Mr.
the public
Kotteswaran,
sentiment.
when you look at the increase or the jump in the BJP vote share, how much of that would you credit it to the number of seats that they're contesting this time as well? And the faces that they had put forth?
When it comes to the NDA, they managed to put a huge alliance. That is, they were victorious in getting the PMK into their hand, which has a traditional vote share. According to that, adding to that, Annamalai is doing some work. He is campaigning. He has increased the vote share, but not as claimed by the party people or as predicted by the exit polls. The exit polls, they gave away straightly 1 to 3 or 3 to 5. Where are the numbers? And you can see the party being pushed to 3rd place, and somewhere they have lost deposit. It has also happened to the BJP. See, in my view, yes, we are pointing our fingers towards the AIADMK, which has performed very badly. But at the same time, the NDA had also performed very, very badly. See, as far as Prime Minister Modi is concerned, this is a 40 Lok Sabha seats. But where are the numbers coming? For example, an easy win would have ensured that Murugan is now into cabinet, or an easy win for Pon Radhakrishnan. He was a former minister.
But Mr. Kotteswaran, as we near the end of this debate, one thing that I want to mention, everyone on the panel, many of them made a mention of NTK, 8% of the vote share. Now, this is a party that hasn't been getting the kind of media attention that the BJP has had, does not have, multiple candidates who are, considered stars in Tamil Nadu. Yes. You do, of course, have their chief who's quite popular. You do not have the kind of funding for that party like the other parties like the BJP has. The kind of investment that the BJP made, in terms of time and effort, the political capital that they put in, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister coming there, multiple union ministers really making a beeline to Tamil Nadu. Without all of it, getting 8%, that's a commendable job really. And a lot of lessons to be learned for the BJP, for the AIADMK from a party like this.
No, see, can I make my comment?
Because this is...
Let Mr. Kotteswaran answer, and then I'll come to you, Mr. Kishore.
Where the symbol of... See, the party's symbol was taken away by the Election Commission of India. That is what Naam Tamil founder Seaman claimed. He said it is a deliberate attempt by the BJP and the other parties which doesn't want the Naam Tamil Katchi to grow in the Dravidian heartland. Naam Tamil Katchi has been persistent when it comes to attacking Modi. At the same time, they are also speaking against the Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin, saying that the Dravidian party is full of corruption and all those things. So what is happening is anti-Modi wave or anti-BJP votes also they are garnering. At the same time, anti-DMK votes also the Naam Tamizhar Katchi is getting. And this is a party which is completely grounded on almost in all the 40 seats. Of that 50% they gave to the women candidates. This is something, a new experiment which they have been trying, and it seems to be successfully working for them. And most of them are first-time graduates, doctors, lawyers, or people who have not tasted any election. They don't know how to campaign. They were given training, and this is completely, as you predicted earlier, as you said earlier, no training, nothing, or no media limelight was given to them. This is completely, they did it on their own through social medias, and Seeman was like, he's been very clear about his ambition. So those are issue, teething problems for the party, but they are setting examples.
Okay. Mr. Kishore wants to come in as well. Mr. Kishore, one thing now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Kishore, you wanted to come in, make your point, but before that, adding to what you want to say, if you could also here talk about the assembly elections that are coming up. Now, the entry of Mr. Vijay, the popular actor there, also will not make things any more easier for the AIADMK. Then you have the BJP, which is also riding high on the increase in vote share that they believe will propel them further in Tamil Nadu and make them dominant. So, for the AIADMK, what is the kind of rejig are you really looking at? What are the kind of changes do you think that needs to be brought in? Considering that the assembly elections next would be fought, and you don't want the DMK or primary party there to really run away with it like they've run away with the Lok Sabha elections.
Yeah, see, the first aspect that has to be seen is that in a state election, the local organizational structure matters more. So there, ADMK and DMK, they are having a powerful organizational structure. That is where the vote share of Seeman also comes in. See, Seeman has been taking up some of the vote bank of both the ADMK and DMK because he is against both Dravidian parties, and he is not compromising and forming an alliance with either of these parties. But the fact remains that that vote bank is actually away from the consistent ADMK and DMK vote bank. If you see, DMK has about 26% or 27% as is reflected in this particular election, and ADMK is about 20% or 21% as is reflected in this election. But when it comes to the state election, the percentage goes up for both parties, and both of them combined hold about 60% of the committed voters. The non-committed voters, say about 20 to 30%. That particular voter, they opt for these parties.
Okay.
Once upon a time, they opted for Vijay Kant. He went up to
Mr. Kishore, let's come back to the AIADMK really, because I have little time. So let's not, we've already got the perspective of Mr. Seeman and the NTK from Mr. Kotteswaran. So let's stick from you. I want to get the perspective of the AIADMK in the future.
A minute for me.
No, see, the future of AIADMK is in getting the young blood onto the representative, politics, and you will have more candidates coming from the youth, because that representation is what has been what is seen missing in AIADMK, and that is going to happen now. And the other factor is that the local satraps who are there, they're all going to now gear up for the assembly elections because their stakes are more than in a national election.
Okay. Stakes are more for some of the local leaders and they will perform better is what you believe in the assembly elections. Mr. Ibrahim, do you agree to that?
Yeah, for the DMK is concerned, it is we move ahead with the development phase right from after Thalapathy Stalin have taken over as the party chief. Right from 2019 till 2021 election, 2024 election, we have faced almost 2 general elections of Lok Sabha and 1 assembly election and 1 local body election. And throughout the streak, it has been on without losing any more confidence of the people, because we fought within the development phase, and it has been already proving inside the field. Okay. And the results are shown for yourself, for the media to take an attention of. So again, when it comes to 2026 election, the development phase of last 4 years, we've been given whether the women is concerned, whether the men
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, the DMK is very confident that in the path that they're going, things are rosy right now, and it will continue to be. I'm really out of time, Mr. Ibrahim. 10 seconds. 10 seconds if you want to really make a point, but very quickly, please.
Give me a
Very
second.
quickly, Mr. Ibrahim, go ahead.
2026 again will be fought on the development phase, and the people of Tamil Nadu will repose the same faith they have in Dravidian Party, that DMK in particular, and they will be reposing.
That's a lot of time to go. Let's of course see what happens. But for the AIADMK, is it time for them to think differently, strategize differently? Because things that they have been doing, everything hasn't really worked over the last couple of years, be it in the assembly elections, local body or the Lok Sabha. They have their reasoning, but the reasoning won't work once the results, of course, are out. For the people to repose their faith in the AIADMK, what do they have to do? That's for the party to decide. And right now you have, people like Sasikala really coming out and speaking. You have multiple of them, of course, extending olive branches. Should they really take it is the question that still remains in front of the AIADMK. On that note, I'm thanking all our panelists.